Hi, I'm John from Just Whiskey. If you like today's show, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. And a special thanks and shout out to a new Patreon that just came on board, Jay Smith. Thank you so much, Jay, for coming on board to help out and support this channel. Much appreciated, Jay. Thank you. Today we are going to be talking about and reviewing the Kilkerran 16 from 2022, and we're going to be comparing it to the Kilkerran 16 from 2021 and come to a conclusion in respect to the Kilkerran 12-year-old. Okay, we're going to, in my opinion, sum up which is the better buy, bang for buck. Okay, the newer Kilkerran and the newer Springbank bottles do not come with the cardboard tube anymore. Nowhere on the new Kilkerran bottles, whether it's the 16 or the 12, does it mention anything about non-chill filtering or coloring. However, on the old tubes, it prominently says non-chill filtered, no color added. Okay. Why they chose not to put that on there anymore, I don't know. So I'm going to assume that they are non-chill filtered and no coloring added. That seems to be a widely accepted assumption. Okay, so first we're going to get into the review of the Kilkerran 16 from 2022, okay, and then I'm going to compare it to the 21 to find out, in my opinion, which is the more enjoyable, and we're going to score them, and then we're going to compare it to the 12-year-old. Okay, so the specs on the Kilkerran 16 from 2022, the bottling code and the laser code on the very bottom of the bottle says 21/6/22, which means it was bottled in June 21st of 2022. I bought this several months ago for about $150, which is an increase from the previous year, which was $130. Okay, so the cask maturation is fairly similar. My understanding, from what I could find, nowhere in the bottle does it say anything, but the 2022, I think, is a 70-30 ratio, 70% bourbon, 30% sherry, whereas I believe the 2021 is 75 bourbon, 25 sherry. So they're pretty close in that regard. In my opinion, more than my opinion, my tasting experience from the 2022, there is less of a sherry influence in there. So maybe the sherry casks, maybe second or third, some of them a second or third fill. Okay, so let's get in the review of the Kilkerran 16 2022. Okay. On the nose, the bourbon influence is very dominant. The vanilla, the honey. Also getting candle wax, a very slight dill note, which I was just picking up on this tasting. A little bit of a perfume note, a little bit of a floral note, and that barley sugar is on the forefront. As far as oxidation, this 2022 bottle has been open for several months. The 2021, which I've reviewed over a year ago, this has been open well over a year, the 2021. So check out that review. That review was a bit awkward. I kind of covered too much with the Kilkerran 8s and the 12s, and I finally got to the review of it, which was a bit awkward, but check out that review if you want the full year ago experience on that. All right, back to the 2022. We've covered the nose. Let's try the palate. Light fruit notes. That barley sugar is there. That oak spice. Nope, no black pepper, but that oak spice is there. And it's just a wee bit hotter than its predecessor, the 2021. So the 2022, a wee bit hotter. It's a slight sweetness to it. It's got a nice viscosity to it. There's a hint of spearmint in there, okay? The finish, I would describe as medium to medium plus. Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out in my head how we're gonna get to a score in this, but let's visit the 2021, and then I'm going to give respective scores. All right. The 2021 was, the bottling code is 15-9-21, which means September 15th of 2021 was the bottling date on this. And again, when I bought that, it retailed for about $130. And the 12, to put it in perspective for cost-wise, in the United States, a year ago, the Kilkerran 12 was about $85 to $90, okay? But now the Kilkerran 12 is $100 US, which is about the same as the Springbank 10. It's about $100 if you can find them. All right. The 2021, the nose is more prominent. That sherry influence is more prominent. You're getting the vanilla, but you're also getting a little bit of the funk, a little bit of clamshells. Okay, so that old clamshells, a hint of that. It's not dominant. Maybe even a hint of dirty socks. So on the nose, it's a bit more dirty and older sherry influence in there. Slight. By no means is this a sherry bomb at all, but there's more of a sherry influence in the 2021. The palate. Right away in the palate, the 2021 offers much more complexity. It's sweet, a slight astringency. You're getting a slight detectable peat in this, which I'm really not picking up in the 2022. The finish is about the same, medium plus. It's a bit dirtier. They're definitely in the, we're splitting hairs here, and it's not even, apples and oranges. It's more like, two varieties of apples. Maybe a Honey Crisp compared to a Red Delicious apple. Okay, so they're close, but the 2021 offers, it's a bit dirtier. And that's kind of what I look for with Springbank and Kilkerran 12. Just a little bit of that dirtier, funky, more complex. The 2021, there's also a hint of flint in there. By no means sulfury at all, but just a hint of flint. And those fruit notes are in there as well, that more like a berry candied juicy fruit gum. Okay. All right. So a year ago when I reviewed the Kilkerran 16 2021, I gave it a score range between 86 and 88. Okay. I'm going to gravitate more towards the 88 score for the 2021. And the Kilkerran 16 2022, I'm going to give it a point less, an 87. So my original score range for the 2021 was 86 to 88. I'm going to probably go closer to an 88, whereas the 2022, if I had to give that same range, it'd be more like a 85 to 87, settling on an 87. I shouldn't say 85. The 2022 Kilkerran 16, more like an 86, 87, whereas the Kilkerran 16 from 2021, more like an 87, 88, but I'm going to give it an 88. So from my experience, 2021 slightly edges out the 2022. Now, how do they compare to the 12-year-old? The 12-year-old is closer to the 2021. You get the 12-year-old has that little bit of dirtiness and that little extra oomph in it. So if I had a choice of buying the 12-year-old or the 16-year-old, if I could get the 2021, I think the 2021 slightly edges out the Kilkerran 12, but all day long, value for money in today's market, I think that the Kilkerran 12 is the better value for money and offers what both of these have to offer combined. I've heard that the Kilkerran 16 to 2020, some people even like that a little more. Will I buy it again? If I can find the Kilkerran 16, and as long as it doesn't skyrocket out of price. I mean, $150 is a lot of money to pay. But I would buy that bottle each year in hopes that, and I have a feeling at some point there's going to be one that's going to be a banger, man. It's just going to be like, wow, you know. But it hasn't got to that level yet. So I could go on and on. But I think that's a pretty thorough comparison video. I might even, you can see the levels on these. I might even pour all of the 2021 into the 2022, just to keep it fresher and to see what happens with that. All right, so thanks so much, Jay, for becoming a new Patreon. And if you like today's show, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and consider becoming a Patreon, just like Jay, with the link in the description below. So hats off to you all, folks, and take care.